Hi, hello, welcome back to another Onkruid video, welcome back to another noita'd daily run attempt. It is time to die in some improbable and stupid ways again. I must say, for some reason, I got an off-camera noita'd craving and I actually reached the final boss. I didn't beat him at all because I reached him through kind of just dashing through the last levels because I didn't actually have a wand capable of achieving a victory for me. My wand did not deal enough damage at all, not in the slightest, but it was cool. It was cool to see him, to see the end stages. Alright, that's a cool little wand we found right here. Just fires our energy sphere. I was gonna say energy bolt, but energy sphere a bit faster than the wand we already started out with. Let's blow everything up over there just to make some room for ourselves to move around. Let's catch 2 shotgun pellets right to the dome, because we are entering a Kurt Cobain lookalike contest later today. Sad that I messed up the contest word, otherwise that would have been quite an okay joke, but yeah. Once you flub, there's no coming back. Once you mess up your words, everybody knows that you're just a poser. You're just an imposter. And you are among us as well. There's no need for me to play with that disc projectile wand at all, because it will just definitely mean not maybe the death of me, but it will seriously like maim and hurt me and scar me for life, for sure. It'll not leave me with some complex trauma, because it will not be multiple implications of trauma. It will be just like one quick sweep, quick death. Oh, he threw that dynamite stick quite proficiently right to my dome. Let's fire this wand and move into it. Fire this wand. Fire the wand, yeah, but I meant destroy this flask and move right into the fluid before knowing what it actually is. Invisibility is quite nice for a second, just to help us walk around unnoticed, so that we can kind of ambush that guy. If we can turn invisible again, that would be awesome. Yes. Just helps us navigate a bit, you know? It's gonna wear out, but it gave us 2 free kills, a little bit of free gold. Ooh, I see a little heart container, and it's worth it in my book, especially because we had to do nothing for it in the slightest. Some additional health, which we immediately squander just by blowing ourselves up without that big of a reason. And slowly but surely we are coming into the stage where it's gonna be warranted for us to just move along to the next floor. Quite a productive floor here, though, if I do say so myself. Found a bunch of wands, found a whole bunch of gold. We can poison ourselves for a second because we can immediately move into here. Health, spell refresher. Do we need anything? Square barrier sounds interesting. Fire trail might be interesting. It's a non-shuffle wand right here. But fire trail most of the time just lights ourselves on fire. I think I'm gonna remove this. Let's see what this is all about. Yeah, that seems to be fine. That seems to be a-okay. And then we have this additional wand as well. I guess the scatter has no business being there whatsoever in the slightest. Let's go for sand and other powdery materials dissolve in my presence, just because I have never taken that before, I think. So this should be no challenge for us to move through at all. It goes away. Hello, big pile. Goodbye, big pile. Does that have like any use, or is it just cool? Is this a powder that will dissolve? I guess it is, and maybe that was gunpowder, so it might be a little bit on the protective side, but all in all, I don't necessarily see the use of this immediately. What's happening in your guys' lives? For me, it was a very calm Sunday because I went out again yesterday. I say again because last week on Saturday I had the DJ Seinfeld concert, which was amazing. This week, my favorite bar in the city I live in celebrated their 35th birthday. I was really glad to be a part of it. Also won some free drinks beforehand, so that makes it even more fun to head over there. Went with my nephew Simon, who you guys have seen in some videos on the Onkruid channel already. Maybe like not some videos, but definitely in a video. What does this always cost? Can I see it? Can I see what this always costs? I didn't want to throw it all the way over there. Pick up wand. This wand always costs. Makes a projectile fly through enemies, but harmful to the caster. So this will... well, this is no use for us, or especially not in the current wand setup that is used on. Later today, I'm headed out to the cinema to the movies to watch. This is just like a regular old teleport wand, right? That might be beneficial for us. To see the new Hunger Games movie, the prequel. I'm quite excited. I don't exactly know what to expect. Ooh, perk lottery is so nice, especially this early. That's fine. It's fine that the rest disappeared, but there we go. Look at me. Now I can travel back to the Holy Mountain if I would desire to do so. I don't necessarily know why immediately at this point in time, why I would move back, but at least we have the option. I'm just not gonna deal with that turret, man. Oops. I want to have my teleport wand. I need to reconfigure before I blow myself up. Let's go with the offensive wand on 1 and the teleport wand on 3. That's more of a combination, or more of a configuration is the word I'm looking for, that I'm used to. Paying attention to my cellular phone a little bit as well, because my girlfriend is headed over here. She's headed to the cinemas with me. Well, actually, I'm going with her. She originally had the plan to go with 2 of her colleagues, but they are also my colleagues, so she was like, don't you want to join? And I was like, hell yeah, I want to join. I don't want to deal with this turret. I'm just gonna ignore him. I guess here the powder dissolving is quite satisfying, because it allows us to move through the level at a rather rapid pace. But all in all, I still don't see the extreme use. Hello, turret. I'm just still gonna ignore it. I'm gonna completely ignore it. This seems like there was a little worm action going on here, which is something I'm not really looking forward to. Is that a part of the worm? Because that means that this was like a huge worm. Yeah, that's pretty large. Don't know what happened to it. Don't necessarily want to know either, you know? Sometimes in life, mysteries can remain. Those were some pretty little fish. Quite sad that I murdered them, but sometimes it's what has to happen. I don't know why it would have... That guy just sniped me straight through the snow. That's not necessarily what I would hope. I'm gonna move along because my health was getting dangerously low. Not that much gold anymore. Of course, not any wand slots remaining either. We can buy any of these. We have perk lottery, don't forget. Gases need to ignite automatically. Explosion immunity, yes, that's a no-brainer. Very nice, especially in the floors we are heading into now. Alright, don't light myself on fire accidentally, please. Another heart container, damn. I guess that would be a reason to head back into the... What am I saying? That would be a reason to head back into the Holy Mountain. If you leave the heart container there because you don't necessarily need it, and then afterwards you head back because you found a heart container and you're like, yeah, now I can use it to heal up a little bit more. But maybe I'm just saying crazy things and it doesn't make any sense what I'm talking about at all. Gonna ignore some of these turrets. I want to check out this one though for sure. Just got a small little peek at it, but it did look interesting. I'm gonna make sure that the surroundings are a little bit on the safer side though. Flamethrower, huh? I guess we should get rid of that one. That's not what I meant to do. Flamethrower. Okay, interesting. Immediately blew ourselves up with it. Is it like more an offensive wand? Or is it more on the defensive side? Or well, on the utility side? I'm not quite certain yet. It's definitely more effective against the turret than our previous wand was. And it actually fires rather rapidly if we keep holding on to it. But it has limited ammo. There we go. That should make quite quick work of that turret. Of course, it's immune to fire. There we go. Okay. You know, this wand has some offensive capacities, it seems like. Careful now. Careful now. I saw that one coming from a mile away. We are immune to explosion, sure, but that could still immediately cause our demise, I think, if you're not careful enough with that. There's a bunch of enemies around this floor always, but I feel like we're doing quite an okay job at dealing with all of the enemies. Even got some accident kills in there, I think. Feels like an okay noita'd run so far. I've gotten quite far and I don't feel like I'm immediately gonna throw it away. Which is what I say as soon as I get into a fight with a whole bunch of enemies at once. If this thing could just die and give me all of its gold, and I get a little bit of room to reconfigure, to rethink my strategy, douse myself in blood for a second, make that explode so that the sniper is gone. Yeah, no, I think we're doing a-okay. If we just keep our eyes peeled, keep our attention span at the ready to react quickly to rapidly changing context situations, I think we should be okay. It's not such an easy task to do, keep your mind peeled like that and adapt quickly, but it's possible. If that thing can explode and make a way for us, that would be awesome. It's exactly what it did. I'm gonna move around. A little bit more gold. I think I am gonna pick up the health immediately, even though I discussed that strategy earlier of not doing it immediately. This one looks too complicated. Oh, I would love that crit. But I guess for... Well... What is this? Is this a duck? Flock of ducks. Always casts orthogonal bond. We're gonna kill ourselves if we mess around with it too much. We have a successful formula right now. Revenge threats. Boomerang spells. No, I don't really want any of these. Faster movement is nice. Living on the edge. Okay. Enemy radar. Faster movement. Okay. There we go. Sure. And sure. Let's just take all three, right? Thank you, enemy radar, for notifying me of this. I guess I could have used my teleport bolt wand if I wanted to get out of there unscathed. This really is quite the potent wand right here. And I think some of the enemies in this zone are probably going to be a little bit on the weaker side to fire damage as well. So that is an additional bonus. I have never seen this spell before. Magic Guard. Seems defensive, which is something we can always use. I'm satisfied with that wand. I think it's cool. I think it does a lot of damage. I also find it threatening. I'm gonna be honest about it. I find it menacing. Our primary wand is still also just a very valuable plan B. But especially against these enemies, it seems like this wand is doing its job tremendously. We just need to be confident, I think. If this guy can die, then I think my confidence would rise a bit. Yeah, we just need to be confident in using this wand. Do the exact opposite of what I was just talking about. Not worry about it hurting me too much and just use it. Use it to its fullest offensive capacity. I think that will actually be a more beneficial approach to us than playing like a pussy. Hello, spider. The knockback on this bitch is kind of insane. Still collecting quite a lot of gold though, which is going to be useful to re-roll the perks. I don't think I need another wand. I think we have a potential game winner here. But re-rolling the perks, especially with like the gambling perk that might cause us to get more than one, is definitely like the best thing we can do to come closer to a victory at this point, I think. Don't get closed in by all the growing plants. Pay some attention to your mobile phone as well for when your girlfriend might arrive. Seems to be like the coast is clear at the moment. Don't get in close quarters with plants like that, which is exactly what I am doing as I am speaking about it. And I think I'm not gonna fuck around and find out anymore. Why is there poison here? That sucks. I want that poison to be gone. Add some water to it, and that should do the trick. Very interesting. Triggers is of course very nice to cast, but to craft rather. But no thanks. High mana, low capacity. Loses half its capacity. I don't think we want that. Tinker with wands everywhere is not something we want either. Let's reroll. Projectile slower. Phasing is okay. I think phasing as a defensive option is something we can definitely get used to. Let's use our teleport wand for good measure. And now here we are, the vault. An area we don't often see, or we haven't often seen, at least lately in the Onkruid videos. The enemy radar is something we could pay attention to as well, because it gives us valuable information about where imminent death is approaching. Man, it feels powerful, but I think we are tricking ourselves, and it's not as powerful as I actually believe. Additionally, it is also lighting myself on fire every other second. There's two guys rolling up with a flamethrower of their own, which is something I am not really looking forward to be honest, because I feel like I am the only one that should be able to use a flamethrower at this point in time. Don't get stuck in the water. Oh man, they are posing quite a threat. I have never seen that enemy before even, I think, with the flamethrower. It was quite a harsh fight. even with all of this offensive and defensive capabilities, most of the enemies here in the noita'd world are still just making quick work of our health bar. I'm just scared. I'm gonna admit it. You have to be true to your emotions. You have to admit them. You have to feel them because they are telling you some useful information. What is this? Energy orb, quadruple scatter spell. Goodbye teleport wand. Well, we should maybe use this like defensive wand a bit more often. Looks fun. Keep using the defensive wand. Does it do damage? Hello? I don't like this enemy. I'm gonna leave it be. I'm gonna go back to my trusty flamethrower. Alright, it's come to the point where we need to pay some attention to our health bar. We did not pay attention to our health bar. That was an okay run. I think we could have gotten more out of it. A new record for enemy slaying is pretty cool and a bunch of new progress though. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.